Did you know that international box office data reveals that global audiences remain 60% more transfixed by domestic psychological secrets than standard Hollywood blockbusters? While mainstream cinema relies on explosive set pieces, master directors from South Korea, Denmark, and France know that the most terrifying minefields are hidden right beneath the living room floor. These 13 boundary-pushing works of world cinema pull back the curtain on elite facades and deep-seated cultural isolations, exposing the raw, devastating nerve of the ultimate forbidden family secrets. Number 1. Old Boy, 2003. A man is locked in a private prison for 15 years for an unknown reason, only to discover a revenge plot built on a forbidden family bloodline. Park Chan-wook's legendary South Korean neo-noir thriller follows Oh Dae-soo's relentless quest for vengeance after his sudden release from captivity. As he methodically untangles the truth behind his tormentor's motives, he is led into a meticulous psychological trap that culminates in one of the most devastating, tragic, and taboo plot twists in cinema history. The film shatters the concept of 13 times world cinema, explored the most forbidden family secret family identity, proving that the ultimate revenge isn't physical, but a calculated destruction of a family tree that forces the protagonist to realize his path to freedom was actually a carefully designed nightmare built entirely on bloodlines. Number 2. Incendies, 2010. Twin siblings travel to a war-torn region to uncover their late mother's hidden past, unlocking a mythic domestic nightmare. Before directing Dune, Denis Villeneuve crafted this sweeping, jaw-dropping mystery. A brother and sister travel to the Middle East to fulfill their mother's final wishes. As they untangle her history of survival amidst religious and political conflict, they uncover a hidden lineage. The final revelation is a staggering mythic tragedy that completely redefines their family dynamic, demonstrating the horrifying, lifelong scars that war can leave on a family line. The audience is taken on a journey where loyalty to a parent's dying wish culminates in a jaw-dropping realization that completely shatters their understanding of identity and motherhood. Number 3. The Celebration, 1998. A wealthy patriarch's 60th birthday party is violently dismantled by a single, devastating dinner toast. As the pioneer film of the Raw Dog Me 95 movement, this Danish masterpiece traps the audience at a lavish family reunion. The elegant upper-class veneer is violently stripped away when the eldest son stands up to deliver a speech, exposing a horrific history of systemic abuse hidden behind the family's wealth. It is an intense, handheld thriller about the dark secrets families keep to protect their public legacies, forcing the guests to choose between uncomfortable truth and polite, institutional denial, showing how loyalty can be warped into a weapon used to silence victims for generations. Number 4. Dogtooth, 2009. An authoritarian father isolates his adult children within a compound, completely rewriting the rules of reality and morality. Yorgos Lanthimos' surreal, Oscar-nominated Greek drama follows a father and mother who raise their children entirely cut off from the outside world, even teaching them false definitions for common words. With zero outside perspective or traditional extended family structure, the natural boundaries of maturity, adulthood, and sibling relationships fracture into a bizarre, deeply unsettling system of physical control. It offers a chilling allegory for authoritarianism within the home where family loyalty is enforced through psychological manipulation, eventually twisting the isolated sibling dynamics into a shocking, forbidden relationship designed entirely by the parents' unnatural rules. Number 5. Murmur of the Heart, 1971. A celebrated French New Wave classic that approaches a massive social taboo with shocking lightness and warmth. Directed by Louis Malle, this stylized film follows a precocious 14-year-old boy navigating bourgeois life in post-war France. While staying at a luxury respiratory spa, his deeply affectionate, boundary-blurring bond with his glamorous Italian mother culminates in a controversial encounter. The film shocked global censors upon its release by refusing to treat the event as a horrific tragedy, framing it instead as a bittersweet moment of youthful rebellion. It remains a provocative piece of cinema that challenges viewers to question where society draws its moral lines, presenting a family dynamic that crosses the ultimate boundary with an unsettling lens of genuine warmth. Number 6. Salo, or the 120 Days of Sodom, 1975. A political nightmare where the absolute corruption of the state completely erases the boundaries of the family unit. Pier Paolo Pasolini's final masterpiece transposes the writings of the Marquis de Sade to a puppet Nazi regime in Italy. While it functions as a savage critique of fascism and consumerism, It completely shatters familial taboos by showing a ruling class that treats youth and family lineage as disposable commodities for ritualistic torture. Banned for decades globally, it remains an unforgettable test of cinematic endurance. Every scene challenges the viewer to look at the ultimate consequence of absolute power, where the traditional protections of family are completely erased by a ruthless, unchecked authority that views human lives as nothing more than toys. Number 7. The Past, 2013. A man returns to Paris to finalize a divorce, only to uncover a web of betrayal involving a tragic family secret. Directed by Oscar winner Asghar Farhadi, this French-Iranian drama follows Ahmad as he attempts to settle his legal separation from Marie. He arrives to find she is living with Samir, a man whose own wife is in a clinical coma following a mysterious incident. As Ahmad digs into the tense household dynamics, he uncovers a hidden affair and a trail of emails that may have pushed Samir's wife toward a suicide attempt. It is a cold, calculated look at how secret desires act as a total wrecking ball for a family unit, exploring the heavy weight of guilt that haunts an illicit domestic structure. Number 8. In the Realm of the Senses, 1976. An unsimulated art house masterwork based on a true story that had to be smuggled across borders to survive. Nagisa Oshima's Japanese-French co-production details an obsessive, all-consuming romantic relationship based on a shocking true story from 1930s Tokyo. Because the actors engaged in unsimulated sexual acts, the film footage had to be smuggled out of Japan and edited in France to avoid destruction by local censors. It stands as a testament to the new wave of explicit world cinema that refused to look away from the ultimate breakdown of social and physical boundaries, demonstrating how an all-consuming passion can isolate two individuals from society until it takes a lethal, irreversible turn. Number 9. Sweetie, 1989. A quiet woman's life is completely upended by the sudden return of her chaotic, emotionally unstable sister. Jane Campion's feature directorial debut focuses on a quiet, superstitious woman whose life is completely upended when her chaotic sister Sweetie moves back into her home. The film exposes the deeply rooted codependency, hidden resentment, and psychological paralysis that can keep an entire family permanently tied to a destructive individual. It shatters the myth of unconditional family loyalty by showing how a household can become a mental prison when the boundaries between love and enabling are completely blurred by a relative's madness, dragging everyone down into a shared family collapse. Number 10. The Cement Garden, 1993. A group of children bury their mother in a block of cement in the basement to avoid being split up by the state. When their mother passes away shortly after their father, 4 siblings decide to hide her body in the basement to stay together. Living alone in a decaying suburban house with no adult rules or traditional guidance, the societal boundaries of childhood and maturity quickly dissolve. The isolation forces the 2 eldest teenagers into a forbidden protective alliance born of absolute desperation, showing how a domestic wilderness can force children to reinvent their own moral codes just to survive, letting sibling loyalty slide into a consuming, destructive passion. Number 11. Secrets and Lies, 1996. A successful black optometrist tracks down her biological mother, uncovering a hidden emotional class divide in a white family. Directed by Mike Leigh, this critically acclaimed British drama follows Hortense as she discovers her birth mother is Cynthia, a lonely white factory worker harboring decades of family secrets and regret. When Hortense introduces herself, the sudden collision of race, class, and hidden history forces an explosive emotional reckoning at a family birthday party. It is a masterpiece of raw, improvised acting that strips away decades of domestic denial, proving that a family's history cannot remain buried forever, and that the truth carries a heavy, life-altering weight. Number 12. Flesh and Blood, 2020. A modern international drama that tackles an accidental, forbidden sibling reunion with raw, emotional intensity. This powerful film looks at a brother and sister who grew up completely separated, only to cross paths and reunite as adults. The sudden explosion of shared history and an unfamiliar, intense physical connection leads them across an unforgivable boundary. The film moves past cheap sensationalism to show the sheer confusion, intense social isolation, and emotional fallout that occurs when family members choose a path that society completely forbids, forcing the viewer to look past the taboo to see the psychological isolation of 2 people who find solace only in the one place they shouldn't. Number 13. High and Low, 1963. An executive faces a brutal dilemma when an extortionist kidnaps his chauffeur's son by mistake. Akira Kurosawa's masterclass Intention follows a wealthy shoe executive who has just leveraged his entire net worth for a company takeover. When a kidnapper targets his home but accidentally takes his servant's child instead, the corporate titan must decide whether to ruin his financial future to save another man's son. It is a high-stakes look at class divide, moral duty, and the hidden societal values that dictate the worth of a family line, showing how a domestic crisis can turn a business negotiation into a terrifying test of human empathy. Which of these international hidden secrets left you the most stunned? If you love deep dives into the complex, controversial, and hidden corners of world cinema history, please like, share, and subscribe for more curated scripts. See you in the next one.